events here. I am Jake Hugo reporting live from Hollywood. Kind of. I'm at least in LA. All right, I'm watching the end of the Oscars, as a lot of you folks were. They announced that the Best Picture winner is La La Land. Great, no one's surprised. That makes sense. Everybody thought they were going to win Best Picture. And then in the midst of their speeches, there's some commotion in the background. And then it seems like security entered on stage. Very unusual. And there's people going back and forth in the background. And I said to my wife, I said, oh no, there's some security issue. So I started to get a little worried, and I thought maybe it's some stupid protest, or maybe a good protest, okay, or some sort of commotion. And then all of a sudden, one of the three guys who's accepting the award says, hey, I want to thank all these people even though we lost. I was like, what do you mean you lost? And then they came out and they said, there's been a terrible, terrible mistake. They read the wrong card. La La Land has not won Best Picture. Moonlight has won Best Picture. So then they all have to get off the stage. Moonlight has to get on the stage. Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway had read it. But when Warren Beatty was reading the announcement, he didn't actually read the La La Land because he looked at it, and everybody, and he paused. But Warren Beatty always pauses, and he's a very slow speaker. And Faye Dunaway said to him, oh, you're impossible. And she read it, and she said La La Land. And Warren Beatty came back onto the mic in between La La Land guys getting off the stage and Moonlight guys getting on the stage and said, hey, listen, the reason I paused was I wasn't kidding around. It said Emma Stone, La La Land, so I didn't know what to say. So, first of all, who's at fault? What happened here? It's the fog of war. We don't know yet. But Warren Beatty wouldn't say that and make that up if on the card it read Moonlight. I mean, that is a weird thing to make up on the spot. So very likely, even though everybody initially seemed to be going after Warren Beatty because he seemed confused, I actually think that his answer is very likely to be true. Very likely they handed him the wrong card for the person who won Best Female Actress, Best Actress, which is Emma Stone. So now, look, people are going to go on a witch hunt. What happened here? And who's the person who handled the wrong card? And if it's a low-level person, just, okay, find out who did it. That's super important. Make sure it doesn't happen again. But we don't have to out the person, and we don't all have to go on the warpath against some assistant producer or something along those lines. Now, Moonlight has won. That is definitely true. It's now over. It is not La La Land. Okay, having said that, was this the biggest tragedy of all time? No. You have to understand, if you haven't met Hollywood people, and since I live in LA, I've met a number of them. They're good folks. I love that Hollywood is liberal. The good guys went into the movie. The morals of the movies are wonderful. But are some of them a little full of themselves? Definitely. So this will be considered in Hollywood the greatest tragedy in American history. Like, oh my God, the people from La La Land, they thought they had won, and the disgrace and the embarrassment that they had to go through. Everyone should be fired. Just calm down. You're at a 10, you need to be at a 2. Yes, I'm sure they were crestfallen, as I would have been, as anybody would have been, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, somebody made a mistake that they definitely shouldn't have made. But guess what? There was a surprise ending, like a good movie, and everybody was more entertained. Are you going to remember, do you even remember the Oscars from 3 years ago? I know I don't. From 7 years ago, 1 year ago, I don't remember any of those. You'll remember this one. Good endings are memorable, so it's totally fine. Okay, so finally, then at the end, Moonlight gives their speeches, and Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway come out, and they say, I'm sorry, there's been one other mistake. Hillary Clinton has won the election. Just kidding. There was some of you that are like, what, really? Okay, so fun times at the Oscars, fun little ending there. Obviously not if you're in the La La Land cast and crew. But hey, they got to make their speeches. And now there'll be talk of, hey, should they both get Oscars? Some people will want that, of course. And others will say, oh, no, that's a participation trophy. That's what's wrong with America. There's nothing wrong with America. We all just had a lot of fun tonight.